Hey, this is Stu Schaefer, and I'm about to explain the secret that I've learned over the last 20 years working with people to lose weight. The secret to fast and permanent weight loss to the point where it even feels automatic and effortless. Now, I'm going to go through everything, exactly what to do, how it works. This is what I do with all of my clients, the thousands of clients I've worked with over 20 years. And it works every time. It's not what you think. So you're going to want to stay until the end to see how all of this fits together. Trust me, you have no clue what I'm about to explain. Let me start off by just diving right in and giving you an idea of what we're going to be talking about. When you want to lose weight, most people, if you look at, maybe you've experienced this too, most people will jump from plan to plan to plan to plan, to program to program to program to program. And this is because you're focused on the wrong thing. There's something called the training balance scale. Training balance scale. It's a balancing scale. It looks like a teeter-totter. Okay, now imagine this. On the left-hand side of the teeter-totter is your mindset, your thinking, and your attitude. And on the right-hand side of that teeter-totter is the plan or a program or the how-to. Well, everybody's focused on the wrong thing. They're focused only on the right-hand side of the teeter-totter. Now, I've talked with thousands and thousands and thousands of people over the last 2 decades. Everybody is always only focused on the right-hand side. Stu, just tell me what to do. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Just give me a plan. I just need the program. Just tell me which foods I need to combine. This is the least effective way of creating results, and it never produces long-lasting results, ever. And again, this is why people will jump from plan to plan to plan to plan. On the flip side, your mind, your attitude, your thinking absolutely has an effect on your physiology. And I'll give you an example. Every one of us at some point has had a nightmare. Well, what happens? You wake up from the nightmare and your heart rate's up, your blood pressure's up, your cortisol's up, your adrenaline is up. You might even be breathing hard or sweating. But nothing happened. It's a dream, a nightmare. It's an unconscious visualization. But that little unconscious visualization changes your whole physiology. I've had clients of mine who were doing everything right on paper, the program part, not getting results, because their mindset was so bad. And I told them, and they didn't believe me. And when we shifted their mindset, we didn't change anything else. And I told them, we're not going to change your exercise. We're not going to change your food. That's fine. That's not the problem. We're just going to change the mindset. Give me 30 days. And they did. And in 30 days, they came back to me and said, oh my gosh, I never would have believed you. My weight dropped more than ever. My relationship improved. My sleep's better. My heart rate variability improved. I got a better job. I have more energy. They said, this is unbelievable. I never would have thought. I never would have believed you had I not experienced myself. And now I have quantitative data to validate it. Okay, so you need to understand this. The key to fast and permanent weight loss is you've got to get out of the mindset traps. And there's 4 traps that we're going to talk about. You've got to understand how to harness the power of your mind to be able to impact your body. Even if you can't wrap your head around that yet, consider this. One part of mindset is stress. Almost everyone knows nowadays how stress impacts your body. It affects your digestion. It affects your cortisol, your adrenaline, your other hormones, your insulin, your sleep. It ages you faster. All of these things will certainly prevent weight loss or make it much more difficult. So even if you just understood the mindset on how to de-stress yourself, you would speed up your weight loss. But we're going to go in a lot deeper. So let's go over the 4 mistakes that you're making with mindset. We got to fix these 4 traps. We got to get out of these 4 traps. The first trap is called the DIY trap, the do-it-yourself trap. And here's what happens. So many people are listening to podcasts, watching YouTube, following a bunch of influencers, reading a bunch of articles or ebooks or whatever it is. Fine, great. But what they're doing is they're trying to do everything themselves. They're trying to figure out their own body. Maybe this is happening with you. Now, when I work with clients, I always get on a call with them and we kind of interview each other. I want to make sure they're a good fit. I want to make sure I can help them. I want to see what's going on with their body so I know what to do. And you know, just about everyone I talk to is already healthy. They're eating healthy already. They've cut out dairy. They've cut out sugar. They've cut out gluten. They've cut out alcohol. I mean, it's like they've restricted themselves so much. They're intelligent people. They're smart. They've been stuck for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, which means they've been in the do-it-yourself trap for over 10 years. Struggling, putting in tons of time, tons of effort, tons of energy. Their motivation is there. They're certainly smart. But because they're so stuck on trying to figure it out for themselves, they never get it figured out. In fact, if you look at their 10-year or 15 or 20 years, they're worse off than before. They're getting worse. Okay? Let me just tell you directly. If you're not able to lose weight, if you're slowly gaining weight, if you're bloated, if you have indigestion, inflammation, autoimmune, swelling, things like this, gut issues, you're sick. That's not normal. If your hormones are out of whack, that's not normal. I know people tell you, in menopause especially, people tell you, oh, that's normal for menopause. It's not normal. You're sick. If you're sick, you go see a medical professional. And the same thing applies here. As soon as someone hears weight loss or working out or exercise, for whatever reason, they just assume, oh, it's not that serious, it's no big deal, it's just calories in, calories out, I'll go figure it out on my own. And so they spend 10, 15, 20 years and they make their bodies way worse. They actually hurt their health even more, get more sick. Now, you need to find the right person. You literally need to find the right person. And this is obviously very hard. If any of you have ever tried to do this, there's tons of bad coaches and influencers. Even a lot of the doctors don't know what they're doing, including functional and naturopath doctors. And a lot of them aren't even very qualified. They don't have a lot of knowledge. They don't give you a lot of help or assistance. Trust me, I get all the people that have done all these programs with these folks and they've had terrible experiences. And then we go in and fix it in a few weeks. And they go back to their doctor and they say, I had a client in Canada named Carolyn, and she had an autoimmune. We fixed it in a matter of weeks. She had been working with a doctor for years. She went to her doctor and said, hey, how come this guy knew how to fix it? He's not a doctor. How come he knew how to fix it? And you're a specialist and you haven't been able to figure it out. What's the deal? She was angry, and rightfully so. There's 2 criteria you need to find the right person. Someone asked me the other day, they left a comment, well, how do you find someone who is going to know all this, who's in my plan, my network that I could use insurance for? It's unlikely that that's going to happen. But if you're looking for a qualified individual, there's 2 qualifications they need to have. Number 1, they have to have the results you want. If someone's overweight or unhealthy or tired all the time and they don't have the results that you want, do not listen to them. There are a lot of influencers who are overweight talking about weight loss or menopause weight loss. Don't listen to them. They don't have the results, which means they don't know how to do it. If they knew how to do it, they would be fit and healthy and thin. Most people understand this, but here's the other piece. They also have to have been where you are. There's tons of influencers out there that look amazing. They're fit. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to look like that. But they've never had a problem. They've never been overweight. Some of them are on steroids or other drugs. Some of them have just good genetics and they're eating pizza and drinking beer and they're fine, or they're in their 20s. So it doesn't matter. They still don't know what to do. All they think it is the calories in, calories out. So that's what they're going to do. You need someone who's been where you are and has gotten to where you want to go. Now, I help women in menopause. I have for 25 years. I'm not a woman in menopause. Obviously, if that's not obvious to you, something's wrong. That should be obvious. This is why I post all of my case studies. I'll throw some up right now. Because for 25 years now, I've worked with thousands of women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, and they get better results than they've ever gotten without restricting food, without being hungry, without starving, without hours of exercise. In fact, it's less exercise than they've ever done. They're eating more than they've ever eaten. They feel amazing. Their energy goes up, their hormones balance, and they lose weight. And more importantly, they can keep it off. Yes, we do real specific things, but it all has to start with the mindset, which is what we're talking about today. You've got to find the right person to help you. Actually, you got to get out of the DIY trap and actually let someone help you. The second trap in the mindset is when you're only focusing on the thing, the how-to, the plan, the program. Because what happens is your mindset's off now. And I just explained how the mind has a real impact physiologically. Here's what happens when your mindset's off. There's a few traps. Number one, you're going to do the wrong thing. You won't know it's the wrong thing. You do something like intermittent fasting, or the keto diet, or carnivore, or you cut carbs, or you cut calories, or you over-exercise, or you're not combining the right foods at each meal. You're not eating the right food at the right time. You're doing it wrong. You do the wrong thing. Now, obviously, you don't know it's the wrong thing when you do it. You're not going to consciously do the wrong thing. But what happens is you'll do something and either it doesn't work or it makes things worse long term. Maybe you'll get a little bit of weight loss and then you gain more. And you go, when? It's not good. Or it hurts your hormones or it makes the symptoms worse. Number two, you might actually be doing the right thing, but you're not doing it correctly. Now, another way of saying this is you're going through the motions, but you're not getting any results. You're just going through the motions. And so then you think, oh, whatever I'm doing must be wrong. So you abandon it, even though it would have been right had you just done it correctly, put a couple little pieces together. And again, you leave it. You go, oh, that must have been the wrong thing. Now, I had a client work with me. Her name's Mary. And you know, we started working and she had done keto and fasting for, I think, 8 or 10 years and had totally shot her metabolism. The first 4 weeks that we worked together, she only lost like 2 pounds. And she was really discouraged. But then her body actually shifted. She started getting hungry. Her energy went up. Her strength went up. Every week thereafter, she lost 2 to 2.5 pounds. And in 12 weeks, she lost a total of 27 pounds. And she told me, I would have just given up. I would have just thought, oh, it's the wrong thing. I'm on to the next thing. But because I was there and I said, no, you actually are doing everything right. You just trashed your body. It's actually healing. She was able to stick it out, get past that barrier, and then reap all the benefit. This happens to a lot of people. The third piece when your mindset is off is you're going to do some of the right stuff and some of the wrong stuff. And then they'll cancel each other out and you won't get any results. The problem is you don't know which is which. So here you're stuck in this trap. You're working really hard. Ton of time, a ton of effort. You're motivated, you're smart. You get 0 results or temporary little results. And you're thinking, on to the next plan, on to the next program. When in fact, it's really a mindset trap. You've got to get out of this mindset trap. You have to get out of the mindset trap. That's trap number 2, when you're focused on only the plan, the program, the thing. And meanwhile, then you're missing all these other pieces. Okay? The third trap you've got to get out of is you're using your mindset against yourself without even knowing it. Let me explain what I mean. I already talked about the nightmare. If you have a nightmare, it can affect your body. Well, here's what happens, and I've seen this my whole career. Women come and work with me. Well, everyone, but I focus on women. I train women. I work with women. That's my specialty. Women will come work with me, and they've been trying and failing because they're in the DIY trap for 10 plus years, sometimes 20, once even 30. Think about that. So they are convinced that they can't lose weight. They're convinced something is wrong with their body. They're convinced it must be their thyroid, it must be their hormones, it must be genetics. They've tried everything. Nothing works. Oh, I always get stuck. Then I always gain the weight back. They have accumulated all of these negative thoughts and beliefs about themselves. What's even possible for them? What's even possible for their body? And I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times I'll have a client who loses 3, 4, 5 pounds the first week that we're working together. And they go, well, Stu, I lost, I go, look at you go. You lost this weight. Great job. And they know it's water weight. It'll come right back on. They are so committed to this negative mindset that mindset is actually having an impact on their body. But it's the wrong impact. They're already self-sabotaging themselves. In fact, I remember I had a client who lost 3 pounds. She got on her scale in the bathroom. She lost 3 pounds. She couldn't believe it. So she took a shower, weighed herself again while she's all wet, and said, yep, no, I see, I knew it, I didn't lose any weight. And I looked at her, I said, why would you do that? She weighed herself 2 or 3 times, couldn't believe it, took a shower, got all wet, weighed again, then it showed she hadn't lost any weight because she couldn't even accept that she lost weight. I have clients that think they're emotional eaters, and they say it all the time. Oh, I'm an emotional eater. Oh, I always eat emotionally. Oh, I always get to this weight, then I crash and burn. Oh, I always sabotage. I always cheat. I have no willpower. And what you're doing is you're using the mindset against yourself all the time without even realizing it. And so what happens is you will never be successful. You will never maintain your results because there's so much, there's like this big ball of energy that is actually blocking you internally from getting results or keeping results. And it has a physical manifestation. It makes your adrenaline go up, your cortisol go up. It makes your insulin go up. It shifts things in your body that will actually, even if you were doing everything perfectly, it'll shift things in your body so that stuff wouldn't even work because you haven't unblocked it. And certainly you will never be able to maintain your results because same thing, clients get scared when they get successful. I've had clients that are like, Stu, I haven't been this weight for 20 years. I'm actually frightened. I'm uncomfortable. I am scared. All these emotions come up. Well, am I going to gain it back? The last time I was here, I got a divorce. That's coming up for me. I've had friends comment. They say, now I look too skinny. And all these weird emotions come up that causes them to self-sabotage because they haven't been doing the mindset work. You've got to do that. Now, there's one more trap. This is the 4th trap. This will make the difference between whether it's effortless and easy or whether it's hard and you feel like you're constantly obsessed and fanatical. It's called the 4 stages of learning. When you learn something, you go through 4 stages. And we'll go through this really quick. The first stage is when you don't know something, but you don't even know that you don't know it. It's a blind spot. You're unaware. Now, there's a fancy name for this. The fancy name is called unconscious incompetence. You're unaware that you don't know something. Phase 2 or stage 2 is when you become aware. You watch my stuff. You listen to my podcast. You see someone else. You go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was a thing. And sometimes you go, oh man, that explains what's going on with me. I had no idea. That's stage 2. That's called conscious incompetence. Now you're aware that you don't know this thing. So you can actually go try to learn it. And when you start learning it, that takes you to stage 3, which is called conscious competence. You can now do something. You can actually start getting a result. But it requires a lot of conscious thought, a lot of focus, a lot of energy. It's exhausting, it's tiring, it's hard. Okay, now the simplest example of this is when you were a little kid and you first learned how to tie your shoe. It was hard. It was a big deal. Oh my gosh, you're learning how to tie your shoe. And then you had to look at the laces. You had to think about it, use both hands. You didn't tie it right. You had to tie it over again. That's stage 3. Well, hopefully now it's not hard to tie your shoe anymore. You don't look at it. You don't think about it. You just tie it, and you tie it correctly, okay? This is stage 4. It's called unconscious competence. You do the thing right automatically, and it's even unconscious to the point where you don't even know what you're doing. Do you know if you put the right lace over the left first or the left over the right? You don't know how you tie your own shoe. You'd have to tie it right now to be able to tell me. And you've been tying it for decades because it's unconscious. We have thousands of these things. Some help us, some hurt us. But here's the point. Since everyone's always focused on the wrong thing, the right-hand side of the teeter-totter, tell me what to do. Give me the plan. Give me the program. That only gets you to stage 3. You can do it, but it's only a matter of time before you fail, because what's going to happen is either you're going to have to spend the rest of your life exhausted, fanatical, obsessive. Nobody does that. What happens is you end up getting casual or letting your guard down or getting distracted or stressed or sick or the holidays hit or you travel or something like COVID happens and all of a sudden you revert back to your unconscious defaults, which are the wrong behaviors, and you lose all your progress. I used to work with clients all the time. We would spend 6 months together. They'd lose 50 pounds. Obviously, they knew what to do. We did it for 6 months. They obviously spent enough time to build the habit, and they got results. They would go off on their own, and within 2 months, they would come back because they gained all the weight back. And I never understood why. This was 25 years ago. Until I started understanding the power of the mindset. They'd go back off on their own, and then slowly the unconscious defaults would creep in. They wouldn't even recognize it because they're unconscious, and then they'd lose all their progress. And this is what happens to most people. Oh, I'll jump to another program. Oh, I'll jump to another program. The only way to make this permanent and effortless is you have to do the right mindset techniques, and you have to do them correctly. Millions of people do mindset techniques all day long, and they never get a single result from it. Some of them are just doing the wrong techniques, but some of them are doing the right techniques, but they're not doing them correctly. They're just going through the motions. And so they still don't get results. You've got to do the right techniques. You have to do them correctly. And that will reprogram you. So now your new automatic is the right thing. You'll go out to eat with some friends and they'll say, why'd you order that? And you'll look and say, geez, I didn't even realize I did that. It's just automatic now. I don't even think about it. You'll be out and about. Same thing. You go out to eat. You'll go to a restaurant or a fast food because you're doing something. You'll go on vacation. You won't even think about it. It's automatic now. You'll automatically be doing the right stuff all the time without even thinking about it. It's permanent now and effortless, and it'll just feel like the most natural thing in the world. And that's the key that nobody ever does. Nobody. In fact, almost everyone uses their own mind against themselves. They make it hard. They're trying to do everything themselves. They're stuck in the mindset trap. They're only focused on the physical. They don't know how to use their mindset, so they're using it against themselves, and they never reprogram. And so they're on this hamster wheel. They're on this roller coaster, up and down. They're on a vicious cycle over and over again. You get sick. Your body gets worse. It gets harder and harder as you get older. Really, the question is, how long you want to stay stuck? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the rest of your life? And in a matter of weeks, my clients are done. They're free from all this bondage. They're free. They lose the weight. Their energy goes up. They're never confused again. They reprogram themselves so it becomes automatic. It's a lifestyle. It feels easy. It feels natural. They even take all these other people off their social media feeds. They don't need them anymore. It frees up hours and hours of time in their life. They can actually do stuff they like instead of constantly trying to research and figure things out. That's the difference when you do it correctly. This is the key to fast and permanent weight loss. It's not another program. It's not another plan. You need to get with someone who can figure out you with you so that you now know you. Mind, body, and spirit, everything's in alignment, and now you just do everything right. It's easy, it's effortless, it's permanent, it's healthy. This is what it's all about. Now I'm going to splash up 2 videos. One is about eating, the other is about exercise, because you need some of these obviously too. And for those of you who are going to insist on staying in the do-it-yourself trap, you can watch some great videos here as well. But I would really encourage you, get out of the do-it-yourself trap. Go to my website, StuSchaefer.com. We've got free resources for the DIYers, but there's also some other great stuff you can plug into. But this is really it. This is honest. I mean, I'm just not going to pull any punches. Leave the hate comments. I really don't care. Go ahead, leave them. Oh, you're only saying you can do it with a coach. Yeah, there's certain things we need coaches for. No, every successful person has a coach in some capacity. Most of the top successful people that you see online, whether it's influencers in the health space, doctors, whatever, they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars per year for coaching. I know because I do too. This is just what we do because we know we can't improve without coaches. The coaches can't improve without coaches. So everybody is getting coaching somehow because that's what it takes to actually get the results you're looking for. There should be no shame in having a coach. Quite the opposite. It means you're smart. All right, so I will see you over there on the other lessons. And feel free to leave the hate comments. Doesn't bother me. And I'll see you next time. All right, take care.